Hello and welcome to this week's Spiritual Medicine Digest. My name is Dr. Karen Kan, and I'm the founder of the Academy of Light Medicine and the TOLPAKAN Healing Method. Each week we do a new topic channeled through Source. What is for our highest and greatest good to know this week? So this week's topic is kind of a strange title, Reality Change. So I really had to dig deep to figure out what this one was, but it made a lot of sense after what news I received from a good friend of mine. But before we get into the details of this particular topic this week, love for you to subscribe to my channel and perhaps hit the notification bell so every time I do a new video you will be notified. And of course, love to hear your comments as well, because we are going to be doing a TOLPAKAN Healing Activation in just a moment. So our topic for this week, reality change. Well, it didn't really make a lot of sense to me until I received an email from a good friend of mine who announced that he had a going out of business sale. Now, I actually didn't know he was going out of business, so it came as a little bit of a shock to me and some of our mutual friends. But he had been experiencing, for lack of a better term, shadow banning of all sorts of things. So his business had tanked because of that outside circumstance. So he was having a going out of business sale, and I am planning to buy a bunch of stuff. In the meantime, I had a moment of sadness for sure. And then when I was reading about how he was working, 80 hours, 120 hours a week, it made sense to me that this was never going to be sustainable. At least if it were me, it wasn't going to be sustainable. Been there, done that, got sick, don't want to do that again, right? So what's reality change? Well, it has to do with our perspective. I've talked about this before, but sometimes different circumstances we forget, and then it's good to revisit this whole concept of perspective. Perhaps after having done what my friend has done for a very long period of time, very successfully, perhaps the universe is like, you've been there, done that, you did good, now let's have you do something different. And sometimes, I know for me it was true, we can get the hint of, okay, time to change gears, time to go on this road, right? But then we don't, because we're used to doing what we're really good at and what we're used to doing. And maybe the universe goes, well, let's see, we're going to have to really get that person's attention. So then circumstances have to happen in our lives that pushes us in the direction of our spiritual evolution and growth, especially at this level where we are evolving into those light warriors that we have come to be. We incarnated in this human form to really heal the collective dark and illuminate it to the light. And that means working on our own human stuff as well, which is super uncomfortable at times. So we can have all this knowledge, all this expertise, all this kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, we are personally responsible for our journey, what it is we've co-created with the universe. And then the perspective is, how is the universe helping me gain what it is I desire? The desire is rest. I used to have, patients lined up at the acupuncture office years ago, and if I overworked and got tired, everybody would cancel. Yes. And then I'd complain because I didn't have money. But the thing is that the universe is like, well, you don't have energy either, so we're going to make sure that we conspire on your behalf to cancel all your patients so you can get some rest. So knowing that and having all that kind of experience, sometimes we get things we do not plan for, do not necessarily desire, at least we don't plan for it, right? And then things happen that seem not for our highest and greatest good. How was going out of business for our highest and greatest good? Well, perhaps our deep down, our soul at the soul level is like, hey, I really want to experience joy, and experience joy in this human form of play, of comfort, of travel, of whatever, right? So I'm not saying this is necessarily true of my friend, but I can imagine that for many people, especially light workers, it can be one of those things. It's like if we're helping people truly become who they are, we have to be personally responsible that we are taking care of ourselves, our physical bodies, getting that rest, having peace of mind. And there was a model I got from Penny Pierce that I actually love. It's part of her book, The Intuitive Way. And it's a model with like a triangle and a circle. And if you were part of my prosperity and community workshop in the light medicine community recently, you will have seen this. So at the top, there's the word be. I'll do it as if you're looking at it here. So be, do, and have. Most people do whatever they think they need to do to be successful, to gain money, earn money, so they can have the money that they want, so they can be happy. But the universe, in its wisdom, not going to let us do that because it doesn't actually work that way. Go figure. So it's actually we be happy, joyful, peaceful first in that being state. Then we take inspired action, or the doing piece. When we take inspired action as guided by source and our highest selves, then we end up having what it is we desire to have in the material world, including money, time off, good health, all that kind of stuff. So the being actually comes first. And that was a real big eye opener for me because I'm a very good doer. And doing is not wrong, but doing when you are inspired, when you've taken care of yourself, when you're in the being state, when you can connect to that stillness and 0 point field day in and day out, then the inspired action can still look like the same action from other people's outside perspective. But the difference is the doing is in joy, inspiration. It's not drudgery like, oh, I gotta get this done. No, no, no. It's done in joy, and that's the big difference. So let's do a TOLPAKAN Healing Activation that maybe could help you switch gears in terms of that perspective. That instead of the do, have, be, go into that be, do, have. And the first thing is getting into that still point. So let's do that together. Let's practice the stillness through observing internal movement. This is very inexpensive and easy to do. And sometimes when things are inexpensive, cheap, well, you don't have to pay anything. So it's zero cost, but very easy to do. Sometimes us as humans are conditioned to perceive that anything that's free can't be all that good. So just saying that this particular process, unless you desire to do something longer, that's completely fine. This particular process is extremely effective to help you with that be, do, and have. So let's go ahead, and this is part is optional, just to get you in your body. Make some movements, stamp your feet, rub your hands, shake a little bit, do a little African dancing, and relax. And if it's safe for you to do so, go ahead and close your eyes. Focus on the inside of your body, underneath your skin, wherever you were moving. Feel anything that's vibrating, moving, waves, tingling, glimmering, heat, cold, whatever it is. Whatever you're feeling, just continue following that flow of frequency, that flow of energy. And continue following that flow. I'm going to speak some TOLPAKAN healing activations, and it gets you focused on the desired outcome so you can just auto heal yourself. Here we go. I now command any resistance to perceiving life as serving us rather than hurting or cursing us be healed with ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best way, all directions of time with ease. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is now commanded in all timelines where we exist that we are able to desire and are pulled to vibrate and be at our highest being state, whatever that is, including whenever we are not feeling at our physical best, but be willing to just be and vibrate By being, we enter the 0 point field. So I was now commanding anything preventing us from being willing to do what is free and easy and something that we may not see as value, to be able to see it as value and to be able to get the positive benefits physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically, dimensionally, in all ways possible. It's now commanded this be done in all timelines where we exist. We're allowed with ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best way. It's now commanded that our source team help us, support us, in giving us that feeling of truly inner standing that we are being supported at all times. And that support empowers us to make conscious choices, and that the universe is always conspiring for our benefits. And anything that is the opposite of that, negative programming, negative beliefs, all of that, delete, dissolve, uncreate, all timelines where we exist with ease, speed, and grace. Thank you for this and all their blessings. We give our thanks and gratitude, so be it, and so it is. And if you'd like, you can say so it is as well. So, some announcements for this week. And before that, of course, please put in the comments, what was that like for you? How did you feel it in your body? Did you have an aha? Did you have a shift? Remember that saying, everything that happens for a reason. That reason is there to serve me. So you can say it's not true. How's your life look then? If it is, if you say, well, I'm going to make that a belief that's true, how does your life look then, right? So don't trust me on that. You do your own experiment. So some announcements. So Light Warrior Radio, we are actually re-airing actually, this really great interview with a beautiful light worker talking about the psoas. Remember what the psoas is? The psoas is a muscle that connects the upper half of you to the bottom half of you. Yes. And it is one of your, core rotators. Some people call it the hip flexor. So Liz Koch talks about that in her book. Let me make sure I got this right. The Psoas Book. Yes, very simple, right? So the psoas can be seen as the muscle of the soul. And that's why I wanted to bring this up again. Well, that and also because I needed that reminder as well, because I've noticed a little bit of back, spiky kind of pain recently. And I noticed that I've been really working my psoas and iliacus muscles pretty hard in my workouts, and perhaps not drinking as much salt water as my body actually is calling for. So I was like, well, might as well talk about the psoas this week so I can pay attention to that. And so you can even imagine this big, huge muscle just being nourished, nourished with that energy. So I think you really like this. Now the audio on this is a little funky, so just bear with it. I think it's still really important. So we are reviving this because it is really relevant to us right now. So some other announcements. Just to let you know, the early bird pricing for the Light Warrior training camps post-end today, which is Friday. And my staff said, well, people do stuff on the weekends. Can we extend it, right? Of course, they're the ones that have to do all the work in the back with all the tech and everything to do all that. So I said, okay. All right, so we are extending early bird through Monday the 3rd at around 11:59, midnight, however the system allows us to do. So those huge discounts will end though Monday night. So if you are interested in meeting with me in person, training with me in person, getting mini healings from me all week, it's very, very customized because it's a small group of people. Definitely come to the Light Warrior Training Camp. Besides, it's gorgeous here. We're talking like mega nature, not to mention the Sacred Lake Vortex and having some fun times at night. We've in the past had vibrational healing night, we'd had movie night, s'mores, different kinds of activities, sunset watching, which is almost every night. So it's super fun, super relaxing, and I think you kind of deserve that. Me personally saying that you deserve that. So if you're ready to really treat yourself to not only training, but also healing and transformation, then definitely come to Light Warrior Training Camp this year. This is the only one that is planned, an in-person one that is planned. I don't have plans to do it again for now. So if this is of interest to you and you would like to learn it directly from me, then this is the time to do it this year. So it is July 14th and 19th in Lake Claire, New York. Hope to see you there. The second piece or second announcement is that if and you can't come in July, okay, there's another chance to do some in-live training with me. I have partnered with the American Society of Dowsers to do a one-day workshop. Now, it's not Light Warrior Training Camp, okay? It is, the basics of TOLPAKAN healing. It is a program that we've done online called Healing Faster Than the Speed of Light. The difference is a lot of the people that come to the American Society of Dowsers annual conference already know how to dowse. What they don't know is autoproxying and reverse polarity. So I'm going to be I'm going to be teaching some of those concepts to them. But even if you don't muscle test that well, you might as well come for the workshop because I can work on you specifically. So yes, we're going to do a lot of demos as well for TOLPAKAN healing, show it how it works. So even if you've watched the Healing Faster Than the Speed of Light workshops, we host like once a year, twice a year, something like that online. This is in person and it's going to be customized to the group. And so if you cannot make it live, the Light Warrior Training Camp, and really want to work on the healing aspect and muscle testing, that particular part, and not necessarily your other superpowers, then you might want to consider coming to Marble, Massachusetts, and that is coming up in 2 weeks. So pretty close. And that is actually, I'm looking at my calendar here, June 16th. Now, the 15th, I do a keynote. So you do have to be part of the conference. The 16th is Sunday. It's an all-day workshop with me and Leslie. She's going to be there. And maybe come to both if you want to. So the one on the 16th is Healing Fast and Speed of Light. Really is focused on dowsing and healing, muscle testing. The one, Light Warrior Training Camp in Lake Clear, is all about all the different superpowers, skills that you see outlined and in my superpower book. And you get to train in person. And in both cases, we'll be doing some mini healings so people can have an idea of what potentially is blocking them, preventing them from having success in whatever area of life, healing, physical well-being, relationships, money, whatever it is. So we'll have plenty of time to do those mini assessments and or healing. So I'll put the link below, and just it is time sensitive, right? Because it's coming up in a couple of weeks. And it is a very, very good price. Let's put it that way. Like I said, we partnered with them, so we agreed to a certain price point just so we can have as many people who are interested as possible. So check that out. Put the link below. And that is it for this week. Until next time, bye for now and lots of love. And remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks so much.